Okay, so today's seminar is the ultimate self-realization, and it's come from two places. One is this book called Laws of Success. Chapter 7 in here is called Ultimate Self-Realization. So on the technical side, or the theory side in this here, has come from this book. But there's also a lecture that Master Okawa gave in 1989, when he had only been teaching, only had started Happy Science 3 years prior, where he gave a lecture called The Ultimate Self-Realization. So today's seminar is a mixture of the theory from this book and the words, which are much more mystical, that come from him, from his teaching on the ultimate self-realization that he gave in 1989. So the lecture, unfortunately, is in Japanese, but there's subtitles. So if, when it comes on, if you find you can't read it, just move forward a little bit, because the subtitles, I didn't put the words, they did. Their words are already, not so large, but if you have a problem reading, just move up. So, first of all, we can say, what is self-realization? Well, Master Okawa says self-realization consists of three elements. And the first is a means of achieving human happiness. So if I can achieve self-realization, it should lead to my happiness. My self-realization should be a way that I can achieve my own happiness. But secondly, it's a means of making society a utopia. So I should become happy through my self-realization. But as more and more people achieve self-realization, it should lead to making society a utopia. And the third is it leads to the evolution of the great universe. And we'll talk about this a little bit further on, but it's about having such a big picture that we see our Earth is just one planet in amongst many in the universe, and our goal is to create an ideal planet. So if each person achieves self-realization and discovers their true nature, their divine nature, and they can shine their light into this world, as that happens, society will start to light up with so many people being able to shine their light into society. And when the whole world has got people living this way, eventually we can create a beautiful planet that will also lead to the evolution of the great universe. So this is really, these 3 points are key in understanding what is self-realization from Happy Science perspective. So let's watch this first excerpt from Master Okawa, from 1989, and it was 3 years after Happy Science was started. He's a lot younger. I mean, now here he was only about 33. So now he's 60, so 27 years have gone by. And actually in today's seminar, if we think about the ultimate self-realization, the perfect example is Master Okawa. A means of achieving human happiness. So he himself attained enlightenment, has discovered his true self. He has using that to be able to help try to create a utopia on Earth, aiming to change this planet into something really wonderful. So a really good example is to think of Master Okawa and how he lives his life.
真面目な話をすると思っておられるでしょうが、実は昨日私の誕生日でございまして幸福の科学の研修ホールで誕生パーティーをやっていただいたんですけど、嬉しかったです振り返ってみますと、ちょうど3年になります。今から3年前の七夕の頃に幸福の科学を作ろうと決意して、そして退社を1週間前に控えていたと思います。その時辞めるにあたって何をするのかと聞かれて、幸福の科学というのをやるつもりですと答えたのですが、この名前は初めて耳にする人にとっては変に聞こえるんですね。幸福と科学とのという言葉でつないでいるだけで解もついてないし、どんなものなのかがわからない。そういう感じで私自身もその名を口にした時に恥ずかしい気持ちが少しあったのを覚えています。しかしそれから3年間いろんな形で活動をやってまいりますと、最初は固有名詞として固まらなかった幸福の科学という言葉が本当に固有名詞になって皆さんの頭にあたかも看板のごとくガンと張り付くようになってきているのではないかと思います。このように本当に姿形なきものが 現実の活動を通して姿形あるものへと変わっていく姿を見ていまして、不思議な思いに打たれるのはおそらく私一人ではないと思います。もともと一人の人間の心の中にあった理想がやがて口を通して語られ、口を通して語られた言葉が多くの人に受け入れられる。多くの人に受け入れられて、そうして行動を伴うときにやがてその姿が固まり、この三次元という世界の中で確たる存在として姿を作っていく。このプロセスそのものを見たときに、私は世に言う自己実現の問題というのは少し角度が違うんではないかという気持ちがいたします。世に言う自己実現論は、各人の心の中にこの世的なる思いとして発したものが自分の満足のいくところまで実現されることによって、そしてよしとする考え方ではないのか、そういうふうに思います。けれども、私自身の現在ただいまの正直な感想というものを申し上げるならば、自己実現という言葉にもっと深い、もっと神秘的な意を感じるのであります。私はこの言葉の中に大いなる流れのようなものを感じます。それはちょうど天の川から流れてくるような、そうした神秘的な感覚であります。遥かなる世界から次第にこの地球を目指して流れてきて、そしてこの地球の上を、地表を流れ過ぎていく。そこに何とも言えない大きな意志が働き、その意志が一定の方向を持ってある力をこの世に具現しようとしている。それは自己実現の自己という言葉で言うにはあまりにも足らずであり、あまりにも表現不足である、そのように私は感じるものであります。
So here's a idea of Master's thinking on self-realization, and when you see that audience, that was after 3 years, and he was gathering there probably
at least 5,000.
Probably a few thousand, maybe 5,000 people in there. So, but that was just after 3 years. But I went to Tokyo Dome in October, and there's 55,000 people. So he had an idea, he had a vision, a dream, an ideal. I want to change this world. I want to teach people a way of thinking that can create happiness in their own heart and happiness for the utopia and create a utopian society. So he told people about the dream.
Just that lecture is just, even if it's 5,000 people paying $20 each.
Yeah. But so many. So when we looked at those 3 points at the beginning, the first one here was individual's happiness, right? So, Master Okawa, he attained enlightenment himself, but he wanted to have an idea that he could spread with other people, right? So, and lead to other people's happiness. So Master said that the idea of self-realization is a way of increasing one's happiness. It's the starting point, right? But it shouldn't be just like he said in that lecture about a manifestation of our own materialistic desires. So self-realization shouldn't be just a realization of material objects and having fame and fortune in a material sense. It should be something more than that. He said that aiming for self-improvement is a prerequisite. So self-improvement, what is self-improvement? So in Happy Science, and this is really going to get to the heart of this idea of self-realization, is self-improvement means the expression of the true self. See, in that lecture, Master said that his idea of self-realization was he imagines that in the middle of our Milky Way, our galaxy, there's this great energy with a will. The will to nurture everything. The will for everything to be happy. The will for everything to develop. And it's like this energy at the core, at the center of our galaxy, spreads out in all directions. And if you imagine this will coming out through the universe in every direction and hitting this earth, this will, this intent for things to prosper and things to be nourished and things to be in harmony, all and for beauty, and this will constantly manifesting and going past the earth, but each one of us is a part of that will. So the idea of our ideal self-realization for ourselves is to recognize that I am just part of this will that emanates from the universe that wants to create this beauty and harmony and prosperity on the planet Earth. How can I manifest that in some way around me? And when each person thinks in this way and just becomes a manifestation of this energy on Earth, then the utopian society will start to open up, and that's what will naturally evolve, because each person will manifest their own divine nature in their own way as part of this will, manifesting on Earth. So for us, in Happy Science, self-improvement means the development of love. Now, each one of us has divine nature or Buddha nature. So our self-improvement means that I've actually become closer to being one with the mind of God or mind of Buddha. We don't care what name we use, but one with the ultimate source or energy of the universe. So the more closely that we can become one with that, the more closely our self-improvement and the more happiness we feel, and the more we add to the happiness of the people around us. So Master Okawa is, let's listen to the second part of this excerpt, which is only about 5 minutes long.
幸福の科学の月刊誌に今、愛は風のごとくという小文を連載しておりますけれども、私にとってはこの自己実現の問題というものはちょうど愛は風のごとく人の心から心へと吹き抜けていくように、遥かなる世界から、遥かなる銀河の世界から流れ来たってこの地上をそれとは気づかせないままに吹き過ぎていく熱い力のように思います。自己実現という言葉はともすればその結果に注目されることでありましょう。どのような結果が出たか、どのような形が出たか、そういうふうに捉える向きが多いのではないかと思います。けれども私にはどうしてもそういうものが本当の自己実現とは思えないのです。自己実現の対価と言われる世の成功者たちの語る言葉を聞いても、私には彼らが一つの殻の中に固まった存在のように、繭のように固まった中に入っている人間のように見えるのであります。あるいはそれは繭といった柔らかなものではないかもしれない。時にはコンクリートの塊のようにさえ見えます。そうした硬いものの中に閉じ込められている心、そして外には決して出ることのない心、固まりきった心、自我という名の殻で覆われた心、これが自己実現の姿であるならば、こんなものは理想であってたまらない。私はそう思います。どうしても このような文学的な表現を使うことをお許しいただきたいという気持ちはあるのですが、やはり私には究極の自己実現の姿は限りなく透明で、限りなく熱く、それとはなく人に気づかれようともせず、しかして風のごとく吹き過ぎていくようなものだと思われるのです。その透明感が深ければ深いほど、私に感じられる自己実現の程度は高いように思います。
Yeah, so for the movie Hermes, Love Blows Like the Wind, Master gave a beautiful explanation in there about how he feels the love is like a wind, and while people love each other, while people are giving each other love, love is in the world, and while people in the world keep giving each other love, there's plenty of love in the world. But just like the wind, if the wind stops, there's no wind anymore. So the nature of wind is to blow, and the nature of love is to go from heart to heart, from person to person. So one of the key teachings in Happy Science is about the practice of giving love without expecting anything back, and being a love maker. Master said, I want to create, you need to be a factory of love. You need to be able to just be a person in the world who can give love to other people. And so this ultimate self-realization is very much about this. In the fourfold path of Happy Science of love, wisdom, self-reflection and progress, the first, love, and the second, progress, are really the keys to understanding the idea of the ideal or ultimate self-realization. Because it is to realize, I'm actually, my true self is love. And development and progress really means expansion of love. So this world is a training ground for my soul to learn how to give love to more people. And not just learn, it's an opportunity to give love to more people. Because everybody knows that when you give love, you feel happy. When you do things for other people, you feel happy. When you genuinely bring happiness to other people, whether it be singing or whatever way, when we do things that make people feel happy, our lives feel really worthwhile. It feels like somehow we've contributed. My life's been meaningful. So in Happy Science, it's really about trying to find ways to be meaningful to more people's lives, and that's giving love. So in this part here, Master said about the ego, if people just build wrap themselves up in their ego, sometimes in the world today, some of the maybe famous people that people admire, it's all about them. They've created a very big ego. So they're not really looking to how much they can benefit other people. It's all about being admired. So this idea of first stage is to be able to discover our true self and try to diminish the ego and experience the true self, which is the being that just wants to give love to other people without having any expectations. Which naturally leads to this point here, which is the second, which is making society utopia. So Master said, as a person's self-realization should contribute to the creation of a utopian society. And just what I was saying before, that will naturally happen. If I concentrate on trying to make my love as pure as possible and not think about other people's praise or needing to get anything back, and find joy in bringing happiness to other people, it's very natural that I will lead to the contribution, that will lead to the contribution of creating utopian society. So this was a very important point to be able to do. And Master, in Happy Science we talk about it from personal happiness to public happiness. So my happiness, what's bringing me happiness, should be leading to the happiness of others. And it's really, when you understand the teaching of Happy Science, it really is quite simple. When we learn how to be able to give love to other people, which means enjoy making other people happy and get happiness from that, it's a wonderful circular effect, because as I bring happiness to another person, right, it makes me happy. But not only that, my relationship with people really becomes really wonderful, and my life improves, and I feel happier naturally, because I find myself with really good friends, I find myself with good customers or people I'm working with at work. Everybody around me I find myself in a good relationship with, because they recognise that my love is genuine, they recognise that my love is pure, and they realise that I don't have anything, I'm not trying to take from them, I don't have any needs to take from them, and that my joy comes from their joy, and their happiness brings happiness to me. And all of us know, if you've got a friend that's like that as they become happy, they see you become happier. If they've got some good news and they share it with you and you're genuinely happy, or they're looking for ways to encourage you. They're looking for nice things to say to you, genuine nice things to say to you, to be able to encourage you, make you feel happy. Those are wonderful friends to have. So, this is the way. My happiness should lead to other people's happiness, which should contribute to making society utopia. So the third point the Master said was, it should contribute to the evolution of the universe. So the first thing about ultimate self-realization or self-realization, it should lead to my own personal happiness. And that personal happiness should actually cause the evolution of my soul or improvement of my character. The second point was it should lead to the creation of utopian society. And the third point, he said, contributes to the evolution of the universe. So to expand on that, he said, we must look at the Earth as one small planet in space and ask ourselves what sort of civilization we should create that will contribute to the evolution of the universe. And that's just what I touched on at the beginning. We have quite a vast view here at Happy Science about the universe. We don't think that Earth is just one planet and that's all the life there is. From the teachings of Master Okawa, the universe is teeming with life. And all the planets are competing to who can create the most wonderful planet. So if we can see ourselves as in a competition to create the most wonderful planet, right? This is the true meaning of competition. We can make the greatest planet, and then we have to have the wisdom to know how we can create the greatest planet. So it should start with the individual and then trying to create the greatest countries, and then each country, as you create a great country, help other countries become great with the goal of creating a great planet. This is the big picture that Master teaches in Happy Science. Master said, really, that means understanding the will of God and adapting our ideals to match this. So if we see God's perspective, who's the great creator that creates galaxies and creates stars and creates planets and creates everything in the universe, we can see God's perspective is that he wants everything to flourish. He wants everything to be in harmony. Now, progress and harmony are really the two sides. There's the balancing factor, progress and harmony. Because you think progress is things changing, right? Things improving, things changing. But harmony is a balance. It's like things are staying the same. So when things are in harmony, it seems like there's not much change. When things are progressing, there's change. So the balance in progress and harmony requires the wisdom and to understand the will of God. And that's what we aim to achieve through the progress and harmony of our society. So methods, so now we think about the methods that will lead to self-realization. And Master said there's three basic types and the first is to realize your goals by using your own strengths as capital. So each one of us is born with strengths and abilities. Each one of us was born on earth with certain strengths that we can do. Gregory, you're a good singer. That's something you can do. I'm not such a good singer. Jasmine, you're great at understanding and encouraging people to come to Happy Science. It's a very good skill that you have, Adam, you persevere. You're so strong in your perseverance. You never stop, And and Senna, you're a real thinker. You're always trying to find ways to improve and change the situation. So everybody has these different strengths and skills. We all have them. So if we can realize our goals by using our strengths as capital, those strengths are what we're born with, so they're capital that we're born with. So that's the first one. That's the first, to utilize what we already have. The second was to study more efficient and systematic ways of doing things. So for instance, in Happy Science, I really want to spread Happy Science is my goal, so that everybody in the country and in the world can understand this teaching of Happy Science. That obviously I feel happy while I'm doing it, but secondly, if these teachings are true, as I believe they are, and people practice giving love to each other without expectations, hopefully it will lead to utopian society. So therefore my happiness is also leading to the happiness in society. But when I think about how to do that, when it says study more efficient and systematic ways of doing things, so recently I've been studying marketing methods. So things like I've seen a couple of programs online, and Funnel Scripts was one of them, and a Webinar Jam. So by using, by learning, it's obviously I've started studying, it was taking a lot of learning, but by studying how to be able to create webinars, to be able to record stuff and put it online and use social media, that will help me spread this teaching. So that way I'm trying to use my strength, which is to study the teachings and try to understand them, and then apply more efficient and systematic ways by using modern technology to do that. So the third one, Master said, was find people who will support and help you. So these are the three basic methods that can lead to your self-realization. Use your own strength as capital. Try and improve the ways of doing things. Find more efficient and systematic ways. And third, find people who will support and help you. And, the key to finding people who will support and help you, as Mus is going to talk about shortly, but it really is about having a big ideal. If my ideal was just for me to be able to buy a house, it's going to be hard to gather thousands and tens of thousands of people towards wanting to help Steve buy a house, right? But if my goal is to create a utopian society, build a wonderful Australia, let's make Australia the best country in the whole world. Let's teach people how to have a way of thinking so there's no racism, so that there's no bigotry, so that people love each other and people care for each other, right? So if you had a vision like that and a dream like that, and you could get enough people to understand clearly your dream, many people will jump on board and want to be part of that. So they're not going to really go for the small goals, they more go for bigger goals and big dreams. So let's just hear from Master Okawa, listening a little bit more from the same lecture.
3年弱の歳月が流れました。3年の間に書物も出し、皆さんにお話もし、いろんなことをやってまいりました。けれども、この地上で活動するということ自体が、本来私が持っているところの神性をあたかもコンクリートが固まるがごとく固めていくということが仕事であるならば、それは極めて虚しいことであるように私には思えるのであります。仕事が増えれば増えるほど三次元的なる波動は私に向かってもやってまいります。皆さん一人一人の願いも私に向かってやってまいります。皆さん一人一人の悩みも私の中に入ってきます。皆さんはそれぞれこの三次元の目に見えない漆黒に苦しんでおられます。そうした目に見えないくびきを、漆黒を取り除いていこうと努力するうちに、私自身もいつしか三次元的なる波動に染まっていくのを悲しく思う今日この頃であります。されどもこれをもって理想として良いのではない。たとえいかなるこの世的なる諸問題が我が前に現れてこようとも、いかなるこの世的なる難問題が立ちはだかってこようとも、その難問題を片付けるべく我自らが鉄の塊のようになったとするならば、これは敗北である。私はそう思います。三次元的なる力によって三次元の諸問題を、諸悪を解決するをもって自己実現とは思わない。この三次元の世界にあってあくまでもこの世界を超えた力を自らのうちに体現し、それを風のごとく吹かし続け、吹き続け、取り過ぎていってこそ今世自分としての納得のいく自己実現がそこにあると思うのであります。
Isn't that wonderful? We don't have to rely on worldly power. I love that idea. We don't have to rely on worldly power. So we can rely on the outside power as well. Of course, our own efforts really come into it. We can't just lie in bed and hope that my self-realization is going to happen. But when I become determined, and when I'm clear in what I want, and when I really connect my heart and try to have a pure mind, a pure heart towards fulfilling this dream of bringing love to more people on earth, my mind connects with the heavenly world. It connects with the same mind of God, and I can receive outside power. But I just find that so liberating, that thought that I don't have to rely on worldly power. I can rely on help from the other power. So these factors, there are factors affecting our self-realization, and Master said that there's 4 factors that determining our success, and the first one is your willpower, or our willpower. So the more we really want to make something happen, to be able to attract outside power, willpower really is the power from the other world anyway. The willpower is the strong wish inside from our heart to make something happen. So of course we need to be clear about what we want to make happen. Actually, Adam did the seminar this week on the Eightfold Path seminar, and in the Eightfold Path, the 7th on there was right will. It's right just before the end. Last one's right meditation, but right will. And when we came to right will, when we spoke about that, Adam said, "Oh, really? All we need to do is have right will then." But actually, that's so true. But then we spoke about that, said that, unless we have the right will of what are we going to create? And the right seeing, the right thought, the right speech, the other aspects of the Eightfold Path made sure that we were clear about what our will or our intent was going to be to create. Because if we create something, of course, it will have a result. So we want to be careful about what we create and why we create something. And the sort of person I created myself, I want to make sure that it's based on love, not ego, because later on, I could end up suffering if I, create the wrong success. So the first one was your willpower. The second one, your ideal. What is it that you want to create in your life? So this means, and look in Master Okawa's case, his ideal is eventually creating Buddha Land Utopia. His goal is to change this world to Buddha Land Utopia, but he realizes from the big picture that it's not going to probably happen in the next 10, 20, 30 years, 40, 50 even years, but 100 years from now, 200 years from now, 300 years from now. See, God is looking things from the long term, and by planting these seeds of the truth through these teachings that are spreading around the world. So we saw him in this lecture, and there's about, as he said, maybe 5,000 people or so in that lecture, and it was 3 years after he started Happy Science. But now, and I was mistaken, he's 61 now, not 60, but now Happy Science is in over 100 countries. Okay, there's Happiness Realization Party, which is a political party in Japan, which is teaching what is ideal politics. There's Happy Science University, which is teaching students how to go out into the world to become leaders in the world in various industries. There's 2 schools of academy schools, and there's various temples all around the world, and over 400 temples now established throughout Japan. So this organisation, from his will, strong will, that I will change the world, I will give a teaching that will help people realise happiness, and I will create a utopian society, and the ideal that he was able to create and tell people about his ideal, then enough people have joined him that now there's over 13 million members of Happy Science worldwide who have also got the same idea, the same ideal that Master's building. People are holding on to that same ideal. And if you add up the willpower of each of those people, it's an enormous amount of willpower. But we can actually, willpower is something we can strengthen. It's like a muscle. The more you work to increase your willpower, thus the more you can realise and change your reality, and make sort of the world conform to your will and to help create the ideal. So the third one was methods or measures you'll have to adopt. So that's closely related to before, the number 2. First was we use our abilities as our capital, but the second one was to constantly evolve and change and try and improve the ways we do things. Look for new technology, look for new ways. So that was methods or measures you'll have to adopt. And the fourth one, Master said, your future plan. Don't just think of your ideal as being the end. Think of, now, once I've achieved that ideal, what am I going to do next? So then your ideal just becomes part of the path that you're going to be on. It's not the be-all and end-all. After you've reached that ideal, you've got a plan after the ideal. And he said that will really help you achieve your ideal, because your plan won't stop there. You'll see what happens after you've achieved that ideal. Yeah. Master said most people limit themselves to very small goals when they think about self-realization. And it's important, he said, it's necessary to hold an image of something far greater in the depths of your heart, because your very attitude in this endeavour will attract help. As I said before, if my ideal is just to increase my salary by 10%, or try to have a bigger house, or try to move from this area into this area because it's a nicer area, that's such a small ideal. Make a big ideal. Have a really big goal, a big plan, as big as you can imagine, right? And from there, as big as you can imagine, have that dream, and then create that as your ideal, and then build your will to making it happen. And we're going to talk about soon about steps to make it happen. And we don't go from here to the ideal in one step. We're going to have various steps to get there, and that's going to be part of what we'll cover in a minute. But the end point should be something really big. Something that when you tell people about this ideal, people go, wow, what a great ideal, you know. If I just said, look, I've got a 2-bedroom house, but I'm planning to get a 4-bedroom house. I mean, wow, that's not so great, right? But so have a really big ideal, something really wonderful. You know, I'm going to have a business and I'm going to employ, 1,000 people because I want to create this business that's got these wonderful health products. This new health product that I've learned about and I can see can benefit so many people. I'm going to create this huge business. So you start thinking about big ideas, big ideals, but how through that you're going to benefit so many people. Okay, so let's hear another excerpt from Master Okawa.
今日の話なのです。真理を人々に伝え、そして人々に魂の目覚めを与え、そしてこの地上を素晴らしい光の天使で満ち満ちた世界にすることは、これこそがもちろん究極の自己実現にあたると私は思いますが、この究極の自己実現たる伝道はあくまでも今私がお話をしたように風のごとくあっていただきたい。砂塵をその中に入れてはならない。活動をし展開することによってその結果を、その成果を自分のものにせんとしてはならない。そうした自己顕示は私が意図するところの自己実現とは別なものであるのみならず対極にあると言いたい。砂塵を巻き上げて吹きつける風などこの地上にない方がよい。そんな風はなくてよい。あくまでも人々を幸せにするための風でなくてはならない。その風が吹き抜けていくことによって、その涼風によって人々が思わず知らず喜びに満ちるようでなくてはならない。この地上を天国にする者のためにそうした風は与えられているのです。決して自己の力を誇示するがために風を吹けとは言っていない。これが伝道の際のチェックポイントです。限りなく無私な心を求めていってほしい。吹けば吹くほどにその姿が見えないようであってほしい。そしてもしその愛が実ったとしても自ら自身の手柄とは思わないでほしい。決して人の感謝を求めてはならない。感謝を求めるがために愛を与えるのではない。愛は愛自体として愛であり続けるために活動を欲する。愛であり続けるがために人から人へと伝えていかれることをその使命とする。愛はその活動を止めたときに終わりを迎える。あなた方の心の中に宿りたる愛は単に静止したる愛ではない。その愛は絶えず絶えず動き続け、絶えず絶えず流れ出していくものでなければならない。これよりのち愛を供給することによって限定をかけることはあってはならない。これよりのち愛を押し広げることにおいて自己限定をしてはならない。自分を束縛してはならない。自分を縛ってはならない。私はそう思います。
Yeah, so that description where Master said that love is like the wind, but if you ever put any of your own desires in there, it's like the sand in the wind. Such a clear picture, right? So if they're doing something for somebody, but they've got an intention of a plan about what they want to get back, it's like inside that wind, there's grit. And it's not so refreshing, and it gets in the person's eyes, it stings their face, it doesn't feel so comfortable. But when the wind is absolutely pure, like a pure breeze, The love is given with absolutely unconditionally. It's so beautiful, and a person can feel it and love it and enjoy it. Actually, also when he said there that love in your heart cannot stand still for a minute, it constantly must be moving out. You know, I can't help but have that picture of like this love coming through the universe, this energy of love through the universe, and it comes to us. And we as humans, as children of God, we were built with the ability to love others. So the love wasn't ours to start with, but the moment that we feel love for another person, and what does that mean to feel love for another person, right? It really is just feeling that warm feeling of caring for that person, wanting that person to be happy. So that moment you've got that feeling of, I want that person to be happy, I like this person, I want them to be happy, I want everybody to be happy. So every person you meet in your life, from the shopkeeper in the shop, to the person on the street, to the friend on the end of the phone, every single person, if you've always got that feeling of love for them, which just means you genuinely want them to be happy. You're not thinking about what they can do for you, how they can make you happy, but you're genuinely wanting them to be happy. What's happening is this energy that exists from God, it's the energy of God, it flows through you to them. They feel it, it's invisible, but they feel it. They feel love, they feel that you care for them, and it makes them feel happy. But what's wonderful about it is that you're feeling happy, because in that time, this energy that's just, the universe is full of this energy, it's the energy of God, it actually flows through you to another. As it flows through you, it warms your heart, it tickles your heart. It just has an effect on your being that makes you feel so happy. And this is the key to happiness. This is, the secret to happiness is just to feel love for other people, which is no really different from just wishing happiness on other people without wanting anything back. Never any hidden agendas, never any needs. So Master spoke about some dangers in seeking self-realization. He said there's 3 main points to be wary of. The first is, do not wander from your initial purpose. So if you start to achieve some success, if you really have got a strong will to do well, and you've got to create a strong ideal, and you start to really apply yourself and gather people's help around you, you'll start to achieve success. But as you start to achieve your success, never forget your ideal. Never forget why you started. Don't allow yourself to get off to the side and start thinking that the success is what's important. It was the reason for the success that's important, and that was ultimately to improve yourself and help create utopia, or help build happiness in other people's lives. So that's the first point. Second was, he said, choose your associates with great care, because as we start to get success, other people will naturally be attracted to us. And we could have a business partner turn up and say, hey, I like what you're doing, I want to join in, I'll invest in you and let's do this together. But make sure that they've got the same ideals as you have. If your ideal is to be able to contribute to others' happiness, and that profit isn't the be all and end all, you plan to make a profit so that you can increase more people's happiness. Of course, you need profit to be able to expand your business and be able to benefit more people. That's the good type of profit. But if it just becomes that you just want to do it for profit, and it causes suffering in other people, or suffering in your own life through problems in relationships, then it's not such a great success. And so one person coming into your business, if they haven't got the same ideals as you, can actually cause a lot of problems. So it might seem good that they might lead to your success because they're going to financial success, because they're going to input a lot of money, but if it leads to a detraction of your purpose, and could lead to a problem in the future. So just remember, the money wasn't the whole be all and end all, and choosing your associates with great care, that make sure they've got the same ideal and initial purpose as you. And third, Master said, pride. Don't overestimate your abilities or be content with minor successes. Interestingly, they sound like opposing, don't they? Like, don't overestimate your abilities or be content with minor successes. But I guess they're both sides of the extreme. We shouldn't have one little success and think, yeah, great, I've succeeded, I've done so well. If you've achieved that success and it might have been a picture of your ideal, well, then create a greater ideal. That shouldn't be the end. So don't get caught up in little successes. See that your whole life is the objective of your life is to be able to fulfill your self-realization as much as possible, which ultimately means there's no end to your development. No matter how far you go in your expression of yourself as a person that's a child of God, giving love to the world, there's no limit. Actually, in that other lecture, Master said the ultimate self-realization was to be able to bring people happiness by teaching them the truth. And I honestly believe that this is a wonderful opportunity for all people in the world today to be able to help people by learning the truth. And when I say the truth, what is the truth? You know, I once had a guy in New Zealand. I was sitting there. He came to watch a lecture during the middle of the week, and so we were watching it together. And we started watching a lecture, and Master keeps talking about the truth. And he said to me, "Oh, Steve," and I paused. He said, "What's the truth?" You know, so the truth is everything. You know, we try to study the truth and understand the truth. But so when Master said there, you know, to be able to spread the truth, what does he really mean? And I think the most simple truth that we're trying to teach people in Happy Science is that you're a spiritual being. This world's a training ground for your soul. You never really die. There's a world beyond this world that when you leave this world you'll return to. So don't suffer over worrying about things in this world. Don't suffer over material attachments. Don't suffer over the fact that one day we're all going to pass away. Don't suffer when a loved one passes away, because we all have eternal life. And that this world is just a training ground for our souls. This is the main truth that we need to teach people. The truth that we reincarnate between this world and the spirit world for the purpose of training and developing our souls. And that we live in eternity. So really, nothing matters. You don't need to worry about anything. Everything is there just as nourishment for the soul. So, yeah, we have got a wonderful opportunity now in this world, because of these teachings from Happy Science, to be people who could learn this from somebody who knows it 100%, and to be able to help other people understand it. And it's the greatest way to take... See, even if I became rich, right, and I started giving money away to people, they might feel, oh, thank you very much, I was able to pay my power bill, I was able to pay my rent or whatever. But you know what? All the rest of their suffering still continues. They've still got their fear of death. They're still worried about their aging. They're still going to get ill. You know, they've still got meeting people they dislike, you know, and having to separate from those they love. They've still got all that suffering. So even if I have a lot of money and I give it away to people thinking I'm going to alleviate people's suffering by giving them money, I'm not really getting to the heart of the suffering. But when I learn the truth about who I really am, and I'm a spiritual being, and I'm living in a physical body, and your essence is your soul, never judge yourself by your body, never judge yourself by your looks, never judge yourself by the fact that you're getting older and one day you're going to die, and so now you're worried about that. If we can really help people understand that they're spiritual beings, not physical beings, it doesn't matter. They don't judge themselves about how much wealth they have. They don't judge themselves by comparing themselves with their neighbours anymore. They judge themselves by their true self, the soul. And from there, they're able to actually discover that and then try to bring out their divine nature. They can start practicing this law of giving love to others and feeling happiness by giving love to others. And from that, the most wonderful thing about that is they'll experience happiness in this world because they're practicing giving love without expecting anything back, and experiencing the joy of God's love flowing through them to other people and the true joy that that brings. But secondly, when they leave this world, because they would have refined their mind and because the vibration of their mind is so in tune with God and love, when they leave this world they find themselves in a wonderful place in heaven. You know, so some people might seem happy in this world because they're really successful in a material sense. But let's face it, there's a lot. Let me use an example. The Kardashians, right? Everybody sees them on TV all the time, and so many young people want to be like Kim Kardashian or one of the Kardashians. But just because they're rich and successful and famous in a material sense, it certainly doesn't mean they're happy, and it certainly doesn't mean that when they die they'll definitely, you know, go to a heavenly world. So Master said once, when he was asked, when he came to Australia about success, someone asked him, Master, what is true success? And his short answer was, if the angels and high spirits in heaven can celebrate your life, that's true success. So that's a wonderful way we can use for our own self to understand whether or not our self-realization is a true self-realization. Is, can the angels and the high spirits watching the way I'm living, can they celebrate my success? Yeah, so many of the famous people in the world today, if they thought of angels and high spirits watching them and the way they live and the way they think and the way they speak, they might not be able to say that this is, you know, true success. Okay, so Master said these were the dangers. So how to avoid? Master said how to avoid the pitfalls. Well, first of all, adopt a modest attitude. Okay, that's the first point. Actually, you have to say, you know, often with the Kardashians you don't see a modest attitude, just to use an example. It's so visually out there, right? And second, do not try to show off. remain reserved while advancing steadily, and never forget your devotion to the divine, and always have a heart of gratitude to everyone and everything. So if we remember these 3 points, no matter how great your success, if you stick with these 3 points, be modest, because you realise your success, you can only have success because the universe or God has given you this great energy that allows you to live. Everything you have is given to you by God and the universe. So have gratitude. Thank you so much for allowing me to have this success. And no matter how big we think we become, God who creates the universe is always so much greater. And we are always just, even though we are wonderful, wonderful beings, because we're created in the image and likeness of God, and we have this creative power and ability to comprehend and try to understand, God and the universe so much more than animals can. So of course, we are wonderful beings, but on the other hand, compared to God, we are tiny beings. So we just need to keep that modest attitude, don't show off. So basically it came down to maintain humility and be grateful for what you're given. So if we keep our humility and we're always grateful, so instead of thinking about what I've given to other people and feeling big because I've given people so much, no matter how much I'm given, if I'm always grateful for how much I was given and everything I had that I could give came from somewhere else, I will always maintain that humility, and I'll be on the right path, won't trip over. So Master said, to achieve development of self-realization, he said there's a few important things. First of all, setting goals. I spoke about this a little bit earlier, but setting goals, he said, always have 3 types of goals that you'd like to achieve. Small goals, medium goals, and grand goals. So your grand goals like your ultimate ideal. But along the way there, have something that's just in front of you. Something that you can achieve this week. I'd like to set up on happy science, because part of self-realization for people who study happy science and practice these teachings, there's definitely a big result on our soul when we can introduce other people to these teachings, as a result for our happiness and a result for the happiness of the people we introduce. So I'm thinking about this, because I was thinking with Scott, how to help Scott in his situation in Melbourne where he's trying to spread happy science. Well, what if each member was suggested as a goal, each month, introduce happy science to one person? Doesn't that sound like a small goal, right? One person. Can you introduce happy science to one person in 1 month? Right, which means you actually have the heart to think about what they need, think about their problems, be able to speak about them in a way that they can understand how this teaching could benefit them, be able to lead them to the point where by the end of the month they're happy to receive the Dharma book and become a student member of Happy Science that says, this sounds great, I want to know more. And then if every person made that as a practice, and it sounds so small, like one person in 1 month, how hard can it be to find one person to become a student member of Happy Science in 1 month? So I think that, and then a grand goal can be, in my life, I'm going to spread happy science to 10,000 people, or 100,000 people, or 1 million people. It can be a grand goal like that. But we need to have small goals, medium goals, and grand goals. Yeah, so goal setting is important. Goal setting's the part where we have the will, but we have the ideal, but we need to have it directed in some direction, and the goals are really where we put something, and that's what we aim for. If we don't have the goal, there's no target. It's like firing an arrow without a target. You've got to have a target. Okay. Master said, think about methods and techniques to achieve your aims. It's vital that your methods and techniques are constantly evolving. So this is where we use wisdom, try and find ways. Now, it doesn't matter if we're talking about spreading happy science, but also in business. If I want to have a successful business and I want to develop that business, then I need to be able to think about ways to develop it and improve it. Okay, ultimate self-realization. So all of this was talking about self-realization. Well, Master said, ultimate self-realization is really the development and achievement of the larger goals. He said it shouldn't be limited to personal satisfaction. It should encompass grand ideals that bring your contributions to society's notice. That's ultimate self-realization. When you've done something so wonderful that many people have witnessed it and seen it. I mean, Master Okawa now I would have to say, he's in the stage because everybody in Japan knows Ryuho Okawa, and knows that he's a teacher who's trying to teach people the path to happiness. Look, Lincoln is another great person, right? Lincoln changed people. Edison changed people. When you look back in the history and you see the greats, Martin Luther King, they changed society in some way. So they had a dream, they had a goal, they had a wonderful ideal, and then they use their willpower to be able to believe in it so strongly to want to make it happen over a long period of time. So, this is, as far as when you set your goal, this is really an important point, the purpose of your life on earth. Because if you're going to set a goal, it needs to be in accordance with your purpose of life on earth. Why were we born? No? How many people really think about or know the purpose of their life on earth? Do you think there's many people in the world today who really know, what is the purpose of my life? I think most people get up and go about their day just wanting to get through the day, right? If you survived the day, you did well. If not too much a bad thing happened, hey, that was a good day. Nothing bad really happened today, and now really wake up the next day. Go through another day, and then go through another day, and another day. But certainly don't learn this at school. No one at school ever said to me, Steve, this is the purpose of your life on earth. There was no course I could do that taught me the purpose. I could do my philosophy class, but that just spoke about people of the past and hear of some of their ideas. But there was no class that really taught me the purpose of your life on earth. Master said, ultimate self-realization refers to the degree to which you have succeeded in filling your soul with light. And this is closely connected to the purpose of our life on earth. We come here to develop our soul, to be able to fill our souls with light, to be able to be people who can understand what is light. How can I receive light? How can I give light? How can I give love? How can I receive love? Now, what is right? What is wrong? What is good? What is evil? How can I become more good? How can I become more in tune with the mind of God? So ultimate self-realization refers to the degree that you've succeeded in filling your soul with light. And that's closely connected to the purpose of coming here on earth in the first place. We should be able to come here in this world, and especially since we learn the truth about giving love. Once you learn the truth about giving love, it's like being a person in a position to be able to reap a huge harvest. It's like having a whole field in front of you with all the crops that are ready to be harvested. And the harvesting means giving love to other people. Because when you bring happiness to other people, through the law of cause and effect, this brings this wonderful wealth of goodness into your soul. So that people talk about the law of cause and effect, or karma, and people say often when something bad happens, oh, that's bad karma, oh, it's bad karma, something bad happened, oh, it must be your karma. But you know what? There's a flip side to karma. There's good karma. And in this world, where it's difficult to be a person that's able to live in this material world and give to other people in this material world and not have attachments, if you can live as a person like that, where you live your life trying to bring joy to other people, trying to benefit other people, it creates an incredible karma in your soul that you will always harvest later. But not, of course you do it because you experience the joy while you're doing it. If you start going about doing things, I'm doing this because I'm going to get something back later, unfortunately that's self-defeating. That's not love that gives. But the truth of it is that when you do practice love that gives, when you do find the joy of being able to bring happiness to others without expecting anything back, just by the laws of the universe, naturally, this is building up a wonderful karma, good karma in your karma bank. So, on the other hand, if a person spends their life bringing suffering to many people and create a problem for many people, even in a family, you can have one person that can create so much problem for their parents and for their family. One day, they're going to have to reap that karma. Everything has cause and effect. So if we can live our lives, if we can see this world with so many people who are struggling, so many people in difficulty, if I can find a way to bring them happiness, I'm going to feel the joy of it. But over a long period of time, it actually will increase the wonderful things that are going to unfold in my life in the future. It's like planting seeds. It's like seeds in the garden. If I'm planting negative seeds that are causing suffering and poisoning people's minds, these are going to come up as something that's going to be negative in my life in the future. If I'm planting beautiful seeds in the world around me, in the future, they're going to sprout as beautiful plants, beautiful trees. So it's a matter of being able to think in this way, that good cause yields a good result, bad cause yields a bad result, and try to always plant only good seeds. Okay, here I think this is the final excerpt from Master Okawa.
話を長くしてまいりました。発展についても語っておかねばならないでしょう。ヘルメスの本心が各人の心にあるところの一本一本のろうそくに火を灯すところにあったと語りました。されど確かに各人一人一人の心に ろうそくを灯す行為は、これは大いなる時間を、大いなる作業を必要とする行為であることは事実であります。それゆえにこそ、ここに発展というものがいるのです。発展は単に発展のみであるのではないのです。発展はより多くの愛を供給せんがためにあるのです。発展は愛に奉仕せんがためにあるのです。与える愛をさらに力強いものとして、さらに多くの人にその機会を与えんがために発展はあるのです。この視点を忘れないでいただきたい。発展は目に見えることが多いでしょう。例えば私たちの活動自体でもそうです。講演会に来られる人の数は確実に増えていきます。会員も増えていきます。事務所も職員も増えていきます。外面的にも発展は現れていきます。賛同する人の数も増えていきます。こうして組織というものは大きくなっていきます。しかし肝心なことはあくまでも発展のための発展ではないということを、愛なくば発展は死である、これを言っておかねばならない。あくまでも愛を実現するがための発展である。発展することによって愛が死ぬならば、むしろ発展をこそ殺せ。発展をやめよう。愛に奉仕せんがための発展である。この発展は限りなく多くの愛を人々に与えていくということを前提として許されているのである。愛か発展かではない。愛が発展を呼ぶのである。発展は愛により多くを奉仕するために与えられている機会なのだ。それを知っていただきたい、私は思います。さすれば発展が大きければ大きいほど、それが目覚ましければ目覚ましいほど、例えば私たちの活動が日本全国に広がれば広がるほど、その中に込めたる愛が減ってはならない。断じて少したりとも、スプーン一杯たりとも愛が減ってはならない。発展が急ならば、愛の供給はそれを超えることです。それを超えなければならない。皆さん方一人一人に言っておきたい。愛を与えたい。多くの人に与えたい。活動を開始する。皆さん方の能力を超えたがごとき活動を開始することもあるでしょう。その活動によって縛られ倒れることもあるかもしれない。しかしその時に振り返って私の今語っている言葉を思い出してほしい。愛が死んだ時、発展は抜け殻となる。愛が死んだ時、発展は人の住まない家となる。瓦礫の山となる。廃墟となる。その通り、発展という名の建物の中に住まうのは愛という名の高貴なる存在であるということを忘れてはならない。断じて忘れてはならない。外観のみによってはいけません。三次元的なる拡張のみによってはいけません。その拡張を凌駕するがごとき、この愛の思いを持っていただきたい。そうでなくてはならない。そうでなくては本物ではない。私はそう思います。なぜそう言うか。それは我らが何故にこの地上に肉体を持っているかというその根本の使命に関わっているということです。我らが地上に生まれ変わってきているは単なる趣味ではない、推興ではない、伊達ではない、飾りを得るためではない。我ら地上に降りたるは、これはこの地上にて神の愛の国を作らんがためなり。私はそう思います。そのためにこそ降りたのである。愛を与えるは当然のことです。
Yeah, that's Isn't it so perfect, right? That we left that spirit world as souls to come to this world to refine and develop ourselves. Refining and developing ourselves really was coming to discover our true self, our divine nature, and making it shine more brightly. We're literally light itself, and we want to shine that light more brightly. Now, the mission we're given this planet with all these people aiming to create utopia. So our mission of being born on earth was to create a utopian world. So isn't it so perfect, like humans as industrious beings, we don't want to sit around doing nothing, right? If you imagine even in heaven, once you get to heaven, you don't want to sit there doing nothing, you want to do things. Humans like doing things. So like, whether it be reading or studying or painting or singing or whatever. Facebook. Humans love doing things. So we've been given this wonderful job, we've been given this planet and said, create the most wonderful planet you can, create the most wonderful society you can. But in the process of doing it, your own self-development should be what leads to creating that ideal planet. So as you yourself wake up to the fact that you're a spiritual being and that your essential nature is light and love, and that you make yourself shine, and the more you can make yourself shine, like you said in the beginning about lighting, Hermes wanted to light the candle in each individual person. So when you teach a person the truth, what you're really teaching them is the truth of who they are. You light a candle in their heart. Because once you've lit a candle in their heart and they recognize, I'm a spiritual being, I never die, I live for eternity, I'm a child of God, I'm loved by God, and I'm not this physical body. It doesn't matter that I have this body and one day this body's aging and dying, it's not me anyway. Once you light the candle of truth in a person's heart, then they themselves discover their own light within. And that's the most wonderful thing you can do for a person. So when the world has all these people's hearts lit up with the truth and people are living their lives based on the truth, that's when utopia gets created. So isn't it so perfect, right? We come here to train and develop ourselves, refine our nature, which is about discovering our divine nature, our spiritual nature, and being able to try to make it shine as much as possible. And in doing that, working to create this utopian world. It's just such a perfect system devised by God or Buddha to make humans be able to feel happy, because based on the fourfold path that I spoke about before, love, wisdom, self-reflection and progress, Master always said progress is the development of the self, or development of love, be able to become deeper and more loving person and to give love more people. But he said the soul feels happiness through progress. That's how a soul feels progress, as it feels itself developing. Developing means moving closer to God, right? So true happiness from a soul is as it feels itself becoming closer and closer to God, becoming more God-like in its attributes, more shining more brightly, full of more love. So as a soul recognizes itself becoming more and more like God, and it's an eternal journey, because there's no end, of course, to the being called God that's infinitely good, infinitely wonderful, infinite light. So we can never actually become that God, but the soul, as it feels itself progressing, becoming closer to God, that's where we feel happy. So this fourfold path of love, wisdom, self-reflection and progress is a spiral where we understand love, we understand the truth through this teaching of wisdom, through self-reflection we discover our true self, and through progress we aim to become closer to God. And as we become closer to God, it takes us back to love again, because now we're able to embody love more deeply, be able to be more pure in our love, be able to give love to more people. Our wisdom grows because we can understand others and ourselves more deeply. Our self-reflection deepens and we can see ourselves more clearly. We recognize the goodness in ourselves more clearly, and that leads to more progress, which leads back to love again. So this is a never-ending spiral, and this is why and how we feel happy as souls. So I must have said, one thing we should aim to be is like an unselfish person with great ambitions. He said, to be disinterested in personal gain is to humble yourself and be free of attachments while living according to the will of the great universe. Well, being free from attachments was always a very Buddhist idea, because if I've got attachments, I'll do all sorts of things because I'm attached to this, I want this is mine, I'm willing to defend it because it's mine. So the idea is, when we're an unselfish person with great ambitions, this is a real high mindset, because you know what, there's a lot of unselfish people who don't want anything. Okay, I have no desire to own anything. I don't desire to earn a lot of money. I don't desire to work hard and to be a person that's doing well in a business or financial success. There's a lot of people like that, but you don't have anything to offer. But if you can be a person who's unselfish and at the same time with great ambitions, which says that I want to attain great success, but I want to use this success to help other people. This is the great thing. This is really the type of mindset we should try to have. I guess when we look back on Buddhist time, many people became Buddhist monks And each day they, wandered with their begging bowls, and they went to the village and they asked for food, and they would be given some food, and they spend a lot of their day in meditation and self-reflection and try to purify their thoughts and not have attachments. But that sort of lifestyle isn't what Master's teaching is the ideal lifestyle in today's world. In today's world, we should aim to be people who work, achieve great things in our work, but have no attachments. Achieve great things in our work, attain great wealth in our work, but don't have any attachments. Bring happiness to people through your work, and then use the fruits of your work to bring happiness to more people. This is the most wonderful sort of life that we can aim to live today. So Master said another way of looking at this is being disinterested while possessing great ambition. So have an aspiration to achieve a great ideal. And then once you've succeeded in creating a big business while rendering yourself disinterested and casting off all the attachments of this world, you've truly achieved a wonderful result in terms of both character and experience. So both character and experience, because you're going to have the experience of maybe you've achieved all the stuff, you've thought about how to achieve your success, you've had your will, you've had your ideal vision, you've put the effort into it over a long period of time. You've obviously come across a lot of problems, and along the way you had to solve those problems to acquire wisdom. So that was a wonderful experience for your soul. You learnt a lot from that. But not only that, it would have built up your character, because during that time you made sure that you didn't have any attachments, and you're a person who was able to give love to as many people as possible, so you became a better person from it. I thought that last one was the last excerpt, but this one here is the last excerpt from Master Okawa.
我らが存在それ自体が大いなる愛によって出来上がっているからです。振り返ってみてごらんなさい。皆さん方の数十年の人生を振り返ってごらんなさい。その心の中に去来した悪しき思いを振り返ってごらんなさい。人に二度と見られたくないその行為の数々を、その時にしかれどもまだ命があるということはどういうことですか。そのような思いで、恥ずかしい思いで生きてきて、恥ずかしい行為をやってきて、そして数十年の人生を生きて、まだ命があるとはどういうことですか。まだ未来があるとはどういうことですか。まだ希望があるとは、夢があるとはどういうことですか。どれほど大きな愛によって今生かされているかということを知らねばなりません。この愛に気づかないでは到底人間とは言えません。神の子であるとは言えません。過去の自分を振り返ったならば、与えられていることの方が与えたことよりもはるかに多いということに気がつくはずです。それが気づかなければ何を勉強したか分かりません。自らを正しく見たとも言えません。そうです。与えられているのです。有神論者たちは、有物論者たちは、あるいは神や霊を否定する人たちは簡単に嘲笑います。この三次元という現象世界があって、魂が肉体に宿ってこの三次元で数十年を生き、この地上を去ってセミのように殻を抜いてあの世に帰り、あの世で苦楽で住み、また生まれ変わってくる。そんなバカな理論があるものかと彼らは思います。なるほど、バカな理論に見えます。滑稽にも見えましょう。無駄にも見えましょう。なんでそんな回りくどいことをするのか、手間暇かかることをするのかと見えましょう。それが愛なんです。その効率の悪い、その無駄なことのように見える、こんな回りくどいことをやっている。そして私たちを生かしているのが、これが神の愛なんです。この愛を知ってください。愛は効率じゃないんです。愛は合理化じゃないんです。愛は能率じゃないんです。愛はこんな無駄なものの中に、無駄な人生の中に、無駄な繰り返しの中に、絶えず見捨てることなく皆さんを見続けているこの神の忍耐心がその根本なのです。それゆえにこそ我らはその真実に気づいたときに、愛を止めるわけにはいかないんです。止められないんです。風は止めることができない。止まることができない。止まったときに風じゃなくなる。愛は吹かなくなったら あの風のごとく止まってしまう、なくなってしまう、そういうもんなんです。我らが今生かされていることを知ったなら、そのことを感謝したなら、神の心を一部分でも一握りでもほんの砂粒一つであっても理解できる皆さんであったならば、限りなく吹き抜けていくことです。あの風のごとく透明に無視で飾ることなく、人の感謝を求めることなく、すべてが与えられている我らであるならば、決して他の人の称賛を求めることなく、いや神を自らの称賛も求めることなく、そう、これが我々の使命だから、これが仕事だから、命があるということはこのように愛を与え続けるということなのだから、だからこそ、それゆえにこそ、我らが愛の存在であるからこそ、我らが存在することが、その魂自体が愛の表現であるからこそ、愛をやめるわけにはいかない。そうです。まず与える愛から始め、そしてやはり人間である以上、与える愛を卒業することはできないのです。そして人間を卒業した段階においても、神を見てください。神は我らがどのように努力してもそうなることはできないような与える愛の塊です。愛そのものの塊です。存在です。存在の愛の究極の姿です。どうですか皆さん、究極の自己実現という今日の演題の意味が分かりましたか？究極の自己実現に究極がないというこの逆説が分かりましたか？究極の自己実現は神そのものの、神その人のお心自体を自らの心として生きていくことです。これには究極がないのです。残念ながら人間である以上、九次元霊であっても究極がない。その絶え間ない悲しみの中で、透明な悲しみの中で、私たちは生き続けなければならない存在です。されど自らの目にたまったこの涙のことを深く考えすぎてはならない。あの永遠の海のように涙を輝かしても、それは見る人の心の糧としなさい。皆さん個人のものとするのではなく、その涙を限りなく透明に青く美しく光に満ちたものとして、その聖なる悲しみの中で愛の行軍を、光の行軍をしてゆくことです。究極の自己実現、それは神のお心そのものをつかみ続けて、限りなく前進していくこと、限りなく吹き続ける風のようであること、皆さん全員があの風のごとくこの日本全国を吹き過ぎていったとするならば、どれほどこの世が恵みに満ちたものとなり、どのようにこの世が光に満ちた素晴らしいものとなるでしょうか。私から今日出たこの風を受け止め、そして止めることなく皆さんもまた吹き渡っていってください。ありがとうございました。
Yeah, such a powerful speech, and so beautiful. And so I love that when he says, maybe you realize by now there's no ultimate in ultimate self-realization. So we come to hear about what is the ultimate self-realization, but there's no ultimate, because trying to understand the ultimate will of God is we can never fully, no matter how high we understand it, there's always somewhere higher, and no matter how far we develop close to God, there's always somewhere closer. So when he said about that, about how the idea of souls incarnating on this world might seem wasteful, but love isn't about wastefulness or efficiency. If I imagine like God holds the world in a palm of his hand and humans are incarnating on this world, and God's always sending his love and his light and wanting this world to become ideal and full of love and harmony and prosperity, And if we can be one of the souls that are born in this world, trying to bring about prosperity and love and happiness and progress to the world, we are part of that ultimate self-realization. We're part of that energy that flows through the universe. I mean, there's some people that come to the world and they don't understand the truth, and they bring confusion, or maybe they bring unhappiness to others, or they somehow create some sort of negativity in the world. So that's the opposite of the ultimate self-realization. So once we understand the truth, if we can be people that's part of that wind of love that's coming from God to this world over a long period of time, over thousands of years, tens of thousands of years, millions of years, trying to bring this world to become the ideal world. If we can be part of that light, part of that energy of God, that's our ultimate self-realization for each one of us, to do it in our own way. So we just want to finish up here now with a very short self-realization meditation. So we are just going to go to, because this time-wise, we'll just have the short meditation. This one's only 5 minutes long. And this one is about being in service to God. It's to realizing that ultimately we are here to serve and fulfill the will of God will lead us to accomplish great things. And devoting our whole life to God is the highest form of self-realization. So in this meditation, visualize yourself achieving your highest form of self-actualization as a servant of God. So imagine, God's energy flowing through the universe to you, and you somehow being an expression in this world of shining your light on other people. Visualize yourself being this person that's incarnate on earth to receive the light of God and to be able to bring love to other people in this world. And imagine yourself, see all the people around you becoming so happy from you being able to shine your light on so many people, and feel the happiness that just comes from bringing light to other people, and realize that how wonderful it is to just be able to receive this endless light from God. You don't need anything. Everything's supplied. Everything's coming from God, and all you want to do is to share what you have with the people around you. Okay, let's, like I say, about 5 minutes. Okay, so please open your eyes. Okay, well that's the end of the Ultimate Self-Realization seminar. And I hope you had a nice meditation there. Been sitting, in front of the Gohonzon and the temple here today. It's a really wonderful atmosphere. So hopefully this is a place you can find close your eyes and feel peace of mind. So it's when we close our eyes and we do meditation that we can create peace of mind. And I remember Master Kawa once said, happiness is a peaceful mind. If we can create peaceful minds in ourself, it's actually a close meaning of happiness. And if we're living our lives aiming to live with the ultimate self-realization of recognizing I'm a spiritual being, I'm trying to refine myself and do what I can to contribute to the well-being of others, it's much easier to have a peaceful mind because our conscience, our true self, feels happy with the way we're living our lives. So when we live our lives in a way, closely connected to trying to achieve the ultimate self-realization, which is try to understand the will of God, the mind of God, and trying to live in accordance with that, and trying to bring as much possible of our own divine nature into the world of the friends and people around us, then it's easier to be happy. And when we close our eyes and meditate and we reflect on our lives, we can feel happy because we see we're living in accordance with the truth and with the way that God would be happy, and the way the guardian spirits and guiding spirits will be happy, and the way our own self-conscious feels happy. Yeah. So this is the teaching on the ultimate self-realization. Thanks all for coming.